After you've started Premiere Pro, you're going to come up with the startup menu. And what you're going to need to do is you're first of all going to need to click on New Project. After you clicked on New Project, this dialog box will come up. We're going to call this project Snowboarding. Then click OK. Now we're at the main screen of Premiere Pro. You have to remember there's 4 different sections of the screen. There is a project panel, which is bottom left. There's going to be a timeline, which is on the right hand side, that's going to show you where your clips are. There is a source panel up here that allows you to edit and add effects to your clips, and on the right hand side is your display panel that's going to enable you to show what your projects are looking for. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to import files into the Premiere to work with. Part of this whole first activity is about being able to retrieve videos and compose them into a final video. I'm going to go to File, Import. I'm going to find the folder that says Activity 1. And you're going to see a number of different videos. In this case, you're going to be selecting Snowboard 1, 2, 3, 4, and also the snowboarding music. At that point, you click on Open, and Premiere Pro will go and retrieve those. You can see that here are all the different videos, and down here is our music. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take your mouse, just click on the icon next to the Snowboard 1, and just drag it over here to the timeline. That's going to show you that this is your first clip. I'm going to move the playhead, and you can see here's your first clip of your video. Now, at this point, the scroll bar down below will enable you to just make these clips larger or smaller proportionally. I'm going to make them a little smaller proportionally just so that you can see adding the clips. I'm going to now click on Snowboard 2, take and drag it over to the timeline, and just drag it and place it at the end of Snowboard 1. Same thing for Snowboard 3. Now if you drag it over and you drop it on the timeline, and there's a space in between the 2 clips, you can right click in that space, and it's called Ripple Delete, and click on Ripple Delete, and it will pull that last piece, the last 2 pieces together. Now go to Snowboard 4, and we have, I'm just going to give us a little more space here. Now, at this point, we have our video that contains Snowboard 1, Snowboard 2, Snowboard 3, and Snowboard 4. All of those are combined. Now, finally, I'm going to take and click on the music track. And the music track I'm just going to drag over and put in the audio track. And you can see now okay, now the last thing, you'll notice that the soundtrack is much longer than the video clips. So we can trim that very, very easily. By going up to the soundtrack, you can see a little red arrow at the end. Click and drag it in toward the end of the clip. And at this point now, you have the audio match the end of your clip. Now, if at any time you want to see any of the panels in full screen, if you notice up here in the display panel that there's a blue line around it, what that means is that that's the panel that's been highlighted. I'm now holding down the Shift key and pressing the key directly under the Escape key, the Enya key, and it will move that into full screen. At that point, you can watch your video in full screen. If you want to jump back to the panels, you do Shift, Enya, and you're back to the panels. That will complete your first activity.